Today I want to talk about this article. It was brought to my attention by a friend of mine who lives in the area where this occurred. And she is furious. My friend is an avid dog enthusiast. She has two dogs herself. She loves her dogs. Yet we get along great because she's not your typical dog lover. I don't put her on par with dog lovers because the things that dog lovers do, which drive me crazy, you could see my video about that. Those things drive her crazy as well, and we sit and we and we vent and we go on rants with each other about dog lovers and the stupid things they do and how hypocritical they are. She says, well, first of all, let's talk about this article. So what happened is a dog lover slash dog walker brought 14 dogs into the forest and let them all off leash. Now, not surprisingly, the dogs disturbed wildlife. What happened? The dogs encountered a couple of wolves, which they suspect had cubs because the wolves became territorial and attacked one of the dogs and injured the dog. And during the conflict, one of the dogs ran off and disappeared. And now the whole community is coming together. There's a Facebook group with over 600 people, and they're trying to locate the missing dog. And the beautiful husky, beautiful pup. Aw. And my friend wanted to leave a comment, something to the effect of, this would not have happened if your dogs had been leashed. Maybe this person is truly ignorant and uninformed. But there's no excuse for that anymore. See, when I got a dog about 10 years ago, we were concerned about her safety. We live in bear country. There are a lot of bears around. So I didn't know. I had people telling me that it was good to go hiking with your dog off leash because the dog could alert you to the presence of wildlife and potentially scare off wildlife. And yet there were others who said it was a bad idea and that you should have your dog leashed. I didn't know who to believe, so I went on the internet and I did my own research, which is not difficult to do. The internet is a couple of clicks away. Anyone can do this. There's no excuse for ignorance any longer. But I learned, I'm going to share a couple of links with you, having your dog off leash in the forest is a really, really bad idea because dogs disturb wildlife. Letting them off leash in the wilderness is a major reason why there are so many animals, birds, amphibians, reptiles that are endangered now. It's leading to their extinction. You're driving away birds, and dogs are killing animals in a lot of cases. So not only that, though, there's the possibility of your dog pooping in the forest. Well, it's not a possibility. It's more like a certainty. It's going to shit in places where it's not good to have dog shit. Dog waste is a major polluter of our waterways. It spreads disease. But not only do dogs stress out wildlife, they can potentially disturb wildlife, agitate wildlife, get the wildlife really angry, and bring the animals back to you, which does not bode well. I'm going to share this article here about bear attacks. Dogs are often involved. In fact, it says that in the 92 attacks that were analyzed between 2010 and 2014, more than half involved dogs, and many were caused by dogs. So, obviously, very bad idea to let your dog run free in the forest. So what my friend does when she goes out in the forest with her dogs, the dogs that she loves, is she keeps them leashed. And she told me that she is regularly accused of being cruel to her dogs for keeping them leashed. And that drives her crazy because it's actually the opposite. What she's doing is she's keeping them safe. Regularly in my province of British Columbia, and I'm pretty sure this happens worldwide, dogs are being killed by wildlife. My friend, who is very knowledgeable about canines, explained to me that where she lives and where I live as well, and all over Canada, actually, what people are doing is they're letting their dogs roam, especially in rural areas out of town. They just let their dogs free, And what happens, she said, is when there are wolves around, and we do have our share of wolves here, they the wolves are hungry and they see dogs and cats. I'm going to share another article about that mentions cats. They see dogs and cats as an easy food source. So who can blame them? They come into our human territory to kill dogs and cats. They will often lure roaming dogs out into the forest where they will then kill the dogs. And there are communities with high populations of feral cats. So this is just another reason why we need to keep these populations of stray dogs and cats under control, because it's attracting wildlife, which then get killed for posing a risk to humans by coming into our communities. So, if you are an animal lover, you would not, first of all, let your dog roam around your house in rural areas or in the forest, because this can cause your dog to become injured or get lost, as in the case of this dog here in this article. But I mean, just not long ago, we heard about a man who was walking his beloved dog in the forest off leash when a cougar came along and killed his dog right in front of him. And there was nothing he could do about it, and he was distraught, and it was traumatizing for him to witness. But again, buddy, this would not have happened if you had had your dog leashed. It's really difficult to find sympathy for these people. And I really want to say, like my friend, we want to comment on the article and say, you know what, this wouldn't have happened if you had leashed your dog. But like my friend said, there would be hell to pay. People, could you imagine the backlash, right? Like, where's your sympathy? Oh, you cold-hearted animal hater. It's actually the opposite. You're the one who doesn't love animals. People say about us animal haters, dog haters, that we are cold and heartless. It's not true. I don't want to go out there and harm animals. I'm not encouraging people to do that. I just want animals to leave me alone. I don't want them anywhere near me. Just keep them away from me. I'm not putting them in harm's way like these dog lovers do when they go and let their dogs off leash. They think they are morally superior to us. They are neglecting their animals. They are putting their animals in harm's way, And dog lovers often, I'd say most dog lovers, don't love their dogs. They allow them off leash. They put them at risk of being hit by cars, being killed by wild animals, getting diseases. They can acquire diseases from wild animals. But also, just the act of taking a puppy away from its family. That's just messed up. Taking it away from its pack, its family, bringing it into a human home where it doesn't belong. Training it. Just the act of training. Did you ever think about how whacked that is? To teach an animal to not behave like the animal it is, but to behave in ways that suit us as humans. To put, these anti-barking devices on them that squirt citronella into their faces or administer electric shocks or whatever, to train them not to bark. Which is a huge business, by the way. People are making shit tons of money off these devices. I really think this is the reason why dog ownership is so promoted in our society. It's because a lot of money is being made off of pet products. But altering their reproductive system, their organs to make them sterile, it's not being very nice to them. To deny them their natural behaviors, their instincts to join packs and to roam and to hunt with other dogs. We deny them that. We keep them cooped up in apartments or houses in crates or whatever for hours on end while we go to work. And we come home and the dog's freaking out, all excited, hyper, happy to see us. Of course, it needs to go to the bathroom. It wants food. It's been freaking neglected all day. And we interpret that excitement as love. It's just sad, actually, that human beings cannot see how just sick it is to treat animals the way they do, to treat these dogs this way, to put collars on them, to yank them around on leashes, to control every single aspect of their lives for the rest of their lives. It's not like, these dogs have any chance for autonomy or are ever going to grow up and become independent. We celebrate having complete control over them for the entirety of their lives. We control where and when they're going to eliminate their waste, where and if they're going to have exercise or companionship with members of their own species. It's just so crazy to me. And I didn't used to always see this, but I see it now. There's nothing loving about this. This is not love. This is just having dominance and control over another being. And just the way that these people put their animals in danger by letting them off leash is proof that they do not love their animals. And then to call out people who do actually take care of their animals, and then say that they are being cruel. It's just crazy. So if you know someone who thinks it is a good idea to let their dog roam free, whether it be in their neighborhoods, around their house in the country, or in the forest, please share this video with them and let them know that they have it backwards. If you love your dog, you would keep your dog leashed at all times, unless you are in a fenced area, like a designated dog park or a yard or something. So, thanks for watching, guys, and remember, the future is dog-free.